Yeah, check. Mic check.
Ah.
Oh, all right.
Before we get
Well,
started,
we
are
have a
you
lot.
recording?
Yeah,
Before we
yeah,
get
I am.
started,
Yeah,
you're for sure
yeah.
you've done a check.
I did a check. A check has been done, and your mic is heard too.
Excuse me?
A check has been done. Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Good. Why are you on Jack's account? Weird. Hello?
What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I asked why you were in
Oh, I
Jack's
didn't hear
account.
that. I didn't hear that part. Oh.
You gotta listen.
Dude, I'm about to eat this really cold strawberry Uncrustable. Oh,
Why are you having Crustables when you just had dinner?
I got hungry again.
You just ate like a half hour ago, you told me.
I did.
Story's not adding up.
Yeah, I did. I
What'd you make?
had a big bowl of loaded potato soup that I made yesterday with French bread. I took a shower, got out, and I'm hungry again.
I need you to move into my house and start cooking.
You like cooking too, huh?
I would like to, but I'm terrible. I haven't learned. So I'm trying to teach myself as I go, incorporate a couple more dishes. You know what I'm saying?
Over time,
So,
I got a few under my belt now.
what's your main go-to? If you got people coming over and you're tasked with kitchen,
Here's the thing.
what's
It is a whole different animal when you have a group of people coming over.
for sure?
When it's just you, like most of the time I'm just cooking for myself and maybe one other person, maybe. It's just a whole different animal when you got 4 or 5 people coming over. If that's the case, I think I'm going to go with a type of soup like that or a stew of some sort. Something that's a big
For a bowl of stew.
Yeah, something big like that that's easily shareable that I know is going to be consistent and it's going to be good.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah,
it's just me, I'm usually doing a lot of pasta dishes, a lot of soups. Depends on the seasons. In the cold season right now, a lot of soups coming out of the young man over here. A lot of soups.
All right. Well,
But I cook a lot of steak
good.
too. A lot of steak.
Are you a recipe guy, or you like pull it up on your computer and like
A little
what are you
both.
doing here?
Usually I do something if I like it, and then I'll try my own version of it and see if I like it better.
Interesting. Interesting.
Oh,
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. You need you to cook for me.
I'll cook for you, Tris.
Oh, well, first off, my condolences to your aunt.
You know, it's a
Bottom
sad
of my heart,
day.
I'm sorry that happened.
It's a
Right
sad
around
day. It's a
Christmas
sad day.
season.
It's a bad day. But
You're heading home tomorrow?
yeah, my flight's tomorrow, so I haven't even fucking packed yet. Fuck.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So
Well, sorry to hear it.
yeah, me too. Not a great scenario, but you know. But I think also side note, we we've got a lot to we got a lot to cover here. First and
I
foremost,
know.
the first thing I wanted to get out there is the main current event here is Washington for one. Okay. First of all, I think we're in for an absolute great game for one. Because if I'm not mistaken,
Next Monday.
Penix, did he not? He's played Michigan when he was on Indiana, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
He cut him up. Obviously, it wasn't recent, but still.
And staying on Penix, I have had my doubts about him throughout the year because same with everyone to Washington, because they play down to their competition.
He's the real
they
fucking
squeaked
deal,
out a
dude.
couple wins, and he doesn't look very fast, very like mobile in the pocket. When he gets blitzed, he kind of was rattled a little bit. But let me just say, that guy throws missiles.
Yeah, he does. He throws absolute bombs.
And if he translates that to the next level, he is.
We're looking at the next Michael Vick without the running part, but
that's what he looks like though, throwing the ball.
yeah, he does.
Like Vic.
He does. 100%.
That bullet straight in the.
In that little short
right
3/4 arm
end.
slot motion, it looks like Michael Vick. It really does.
And he does have good receivers. Washington has good receivers, so that is part of it. He's throwing to good receivers, but he is legit.
He is,
And
but I will say
he probably should have won the Heisman. 12-0, beating the
yeah,
Ducks twice.
he probably should
Looks
have.
like that all year. He probably should have won the
But
Heisman
on the
already.
flip side of that coin, Michigan is fucking solid, dude.
They're
I
good.
I think Michigan is really good, and not to mention they got past Bama. I mean, I
Well, I just don't think Bama was that good this year. I know it's Saban and it's Alabama, but
I
to
think they've
me,
been better, but I still think either way, it's no snooze fest.
I even think Michigan, didn't look very good for a while. They had the turnover that got bailed out, like the first play, got picked, and the guy was out of bounds. Like their offense looks pretty dismal at times, where they feel like they can't move the ball, like starting the second half or whatever, and they couldn't move the ball. Maybe all of the third quarter, and but they play situational football. That running back's good.
Yeah,
But
he's
I
a
I
stud.
truly
He's a stud.
feel I didn't think Texas was that great either.
I didn't think Texas was that great
They came
either.
down and they came down to they had a shot to win the game at the Horn.
Yeah,
So it's kind of strange. I mean, was that the best college football playoff
I think,
semifinals ever?
dude,
With
back
in
to
terms of the
back,
two games,
dude.
like,
They were unbelievable games. It was blood rushing the whole time.
and it both came down to the last play.
Yeah,
Like both came
that
down
it,
to the stops on
at
fourth
least
or stops
at
on the
least
last
in
play of the
recent
game, it
years
came
that I
down to
can
stops.
recall, that was the best set of semifinal games I think I've
Right.
ever seen.
The fact that it both came down to not kneel downs, it came down to literally
No,
last
yeah.
plays with the Alabama quarterback taking it up the middle, getting stuffed, ball game, and then Texas throwing it to the
Well,
end
that's
zone
what
on
you
fourth
want in
down
playoff
as the
football.
clock expired.
You don't want to give in, and you want to watch the kneeling. I hate that more than anything.
Yeah.
I hate
No,
it.
it came down to I'm not sure what Alabama was trying to run on that last play. I don't know if that was a QB counter,
I don't
if it
know.
was an RPO, but he got stuffed. See you, Saban. Warm up the bus. And
Absolutely.
yeah, we'll see. We got a good game. I know some people who are big Michigan fans. I'm happy for them. They're excited.
I mean, I like
And
Michigan. To be fair, I'm not a Michigan.
it's
I
just
wouldn't
kind
say
of
I'm a fan.
It seems like a cool school.
Yeah, I like Michigan. I really do. Like I like the fans. I like the environment. I love the stadium. By the way, it's beautiful. I love the stadium.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Michigan. I'm not saying I'm bigger than a Duck fan. I'm a Duck fan, but if there's any school, there's a couple that I like. Michigan is one of them.
Yeah. Well,
They
that's kinda
play
how I feel
Mr.
about Texas.
Brightside. That's
Yeah,
their
for me,
theme
yeah.
song. Love that.
I found myself rooting for Texas because somehow I just like when I think of college football, I think of Vince Young,
Vince Young.
running the
Yeah.
game-winning touchdown in, Colt McCoy. I just feel
Colt
like Texas
McCoy. Yeah.
is college football.
Whatever happened? Did
And
Colt McCoy ever do something at the next level aside from the
yeah,
like?
just back up.
Did he only play for a couple years?
I think he was in the league as of like a year or two ago. I mean, still as a backup. He carved out a long career as a backup.
Hey, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that because he got a nice
No,
paycheck.
cha-ching. Yeah.
I would do that. I
And-
would rather that than be a starter. I
Yeah.
would. I just gotta sit back and relax and practice. That's it.
Well, me and you were built different. I'd rather be the starter, but
Oh my God.
making 40 million a year.
I meant
like,
longevity wise,
uh,
you're pretty set.
Yeah. But I
Look
think
how long Joe
Washington will
Flacco
win.
lasts after not starting. Now he fucking
that
plays
again?
back in Cleveland.
Say that
I
again?
said, look at what happened to Joe Flacco after not becoming a starter. He stretched his career a little extra farther too.
Dude, how about
And he looks
Flacco?
good. He looks good.
They're
Dude.
like 11-5.
Okay,
They're like
listen.
11-5.
Here's the thing. I remember at work, like people were clowning. Like I can't believe they're putting. Of course, I can see why because his age. But I'm like, okay, Joe Flacco played with a lot of the greats that are now no longer playing. Okay, he played. He was a starting QB in a very competitive time with a lot of other great QBs.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco was good.
Beat him.
He
beat him.
he
Like,
was good. People think he sucked and like, oh, I can't believe they're putting Joe Flacco in.
No.
He comes in and he's just dialed.
Well, I think people are saying that because, like, I think the Jets had him last year and he looked awful, or something.
Yeah,
like
but he
that.
didn't
Like, some
really
teams are
actually
trying
get
to-
any playing time.
Like, yeah, right. Well, and for a decent team.
Yeah, that too.
He's stepping onto a playoff roster again.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he's been with he's beaten the Peyton Mannings, the Tom.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Brady's,
saying.
He's won the
He's
Super Bowl.
beaten the Roethlisbergers. He's done the whole
Ben
nine.
Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like he's got experience and he's got arm talent.
Yes,
And,
he does.
And what's interesting is like I saw someone say like this just proves how much better the NFL used to be
Yeah, it
with
does.
like how much higher quality the quarterback play was 10, 15 years ago. That the fact that one of the old heads was able to just step in with a decent roster and start throwing the ball all over the field,
Yeah, it's
you
pretty
know.
impressive.
But meanwhile, you've got Mahomes struggling. It's just like the quality from a decade
I
ago.
mean, it's the
It just
it's
seems
the
like it's at
twilight
least with
zone
quarterback play.
at the quarterback play 100%. It's the twilight zone when you look at some of the you just go back and watch plays and just watch these QBs like even
Yeah,
Philip Rivers. I mean, I'm just saying you watch it's
yeah.
just it's
The
completely
Romo,
different. The
Romo.
Tony Romos, it's completely different. Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah. I
just
mean,
football geniuses with a great arm. It almost seems like every one of them.
what was it? Was it 2011 where Drew Brees threw for like 4,700 yards and didn't get a single MVP vote, or Tom Brady got threw for
There was a couple
5,000
of those.
yards?
There was a couple of those
And it's just,
years.
I mean, it's like ridiculous. And
Ridiculous
yet
numbers.
Lamar's had a good year, but he's gonna win the MVP, and he's got like 20 touchdown passes or something.
Which is good, but
Mahomes,
it's not. It's nothing that no one's ever seen.
right,
It's nothing
right,
that is record break. I
very
don't understand.
average for their standards.
Yeah,
You know,
it's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm just saying,
so
like when you look
it
at
should be a fun playoffs
it, should be.
because
Yeah,
should be because if we get, I'm not sure like what the bracket is. I can't remember if it's brackets or seeding, but if we can get, someone's got to beat Mahomes,
yes,
obviously.
please.
But is Mahomes gonna have to go to Baltimore? Would Mahomes have to go to Baltimore or Cleveland? I don't know if Mahomes has not played a road playoff game in his career.
Ha-
It, is
Not
he going to
one?
go into Cleveland? Is he going to go into Cleveland and beat Cleveland? I'm not
I'm
sure.
not sure. I'm not sure. Hey,
I don't think he's beaten Baltimore.
and you're playing a
in
QB who's been
Baltimore.
there. The QB is Flacco gonna buckle under pressure about? No, he's not.
No,
No, he's not.
no.
He's not.
He's January Joe. And what month is it? I mean, that's
Yeah, he
so.
is, dude.
The playoffs are going to get interesting because Cleveland all of a sudden is a major player in the AFC. Buffalo is heating up.
Yep, they're getting a late heat.
Are they gonna match up? They might match up in the wild card. I
I
don't know.
mean, it's
I
a
haven't even seen
possibility.
the playoff picture, but it's it's gonna get interesting. And then the NFC, I still feel like it's the Niners. I know they got smacked, but it was the Ravens.
I know. I still think.
I still feel like I think Philly's a mess, and now they would have to go to San
Did you
Francisco
see
for the
they're doing escape rooms for camaraderie right before playoffs and shit?
Yeah, I'm hearing weird
What is
stuff,
going
though.
on in Philly? What is going?
I don't think they like Jalen Hurts, and I don't think they like
don't think they do
AJ
either.
Brown. It
No.
sounds like both of them are kind of just like it feels like it happens with every quarterback and wide receiver now. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
I know. There's always there's like all
that
this
weirdness.
drama,
Now,
and it never happened before. I
now
feel like
Diggs
you never
is-
heard about that before.
No, I just don't understand like the source of all of it.
I feel like the old heads they
Um,
just treat it like a job. You go in, you're not gonna love everybody, but they're your team. You get shit
you
done.
take your sack lunch,
Yeah.
you put on your hard hat, you get to work.
Yeah. And you go home, you
Clock
eat dinner,
out.
you come back the next day. That's it.
You do it again.
I don't
And
know. It's some weird shit. Maybe social media has a lot to do with it too. I don't know.
Could be. Could be. I feel like everyone's got to get their like. No one's mostly about winning now.
No,
like
it's about
money,
themselves, their
it's
yard, their
money,
stats.
It's money, and then it's stats.
yeah.
Like they don't want to. They don't want to win if their stats are bad. They'll still be unhappy.
and they'll be happy if they
And-
lose and their stats are good. They don't give a fuck.
Right. And so it's like it's that tier. And why does Tom have 7 Super Bowls? Because winning was actually the first tier, and then you know 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the next you want to rank the next. But winning was always so he's taking less money. He's not having off the field drama. Just
Yeah, I just
so
I think that it's a completely different world in socially and in sports. I just think it's a completely different feel in the locker room now. I think it's a completely different all the important things are people. Who am I playing with? How important are they? Am I getting am I getting mine out of this? Blah 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 blah.
I get my touches.
Yeah, am I getting my
touches?
touches? Am I blowing up on social media, getting attention too? Like it's just I don't understand. Like it's just weird.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Like, and I think, and it's weird because you look at other sports. This is the part that confused me. And then you look at other sports, and I feel like when you look at baseball, I mean, of course, there's that everywhere. I feel like in some sports it really hasn't changed in terms of maybe I don't know basketball and football. It really sticks out to me.
Yeah, they're all about like the pregame fits,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just that
yeah.
doesn't translate.
It's
Baseball is like very much do your job type of thing. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I get when you play 162 games a year, it kind of has to be,
yeah, yeah.
but you just when every game it just seems like all right, the outfits are getting crazier
I
and
feel like
crazier. They always make sure they're on camera, when they're
basketball and
dressed up
football
like
are
that.
now. There's a big part of the side pony show on the side. That's a big part
Yeah,
of it. Is
it's all about your brand, and I feel like baseball doesn't dive into that as much. I mean, some
no.
of the stars a little bit, but they're still
It's
very much
very
focused
very
on
small in comparison to these fucking
yeah,
football and basketball guys.
they're focused on getting their work in.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
weird.
and it feels like every athlete, like NFL, NBA, wants to be Conor McGregor in
Every
baseball.
single one,
Just
yeah, every single one.
say the most outrageous thing, be pissed if you're pissed,
Wear outrageous
when
things,
you're pissed,
do
wear
crazy off-field things, fucking
yeah.
be Antonio Brown or something. It's like I don't understand. And maybe it's because baseball has this feel of almost like a gentleman's game kind of feel. It kind of feels like a version of golf, kind of how they keep there's unwritten
Yeah.
rules in class, and I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, proper decorum. Decorum.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's just weird,
So,
and I don't know. I remember the other night I was literally just watching highlights of Rivers, of Roethlisberger, of Brady, just in that time when I feel like football was at just the last time it was in its glory days. I really feel like that. It's just that I don't know.
yeah. Yeah,
Even
totally.
even back farther, even like when even quarterbacks that maybe weren't as dominant as those guys, even when you're looking at Hasselback, when you're looking at it, it's just I feel like Sean Alexander when you watch it's still it's just completely different, and I feel like the drive in the whole entire game just looked different than I don't
It
know.
did. Like the landscape of the league somehow was. I mean, it's like it feels like every team had a stud running back, and every team had a stud quarterback,
Yeah,
and it was like, Chiefs, Jamal Charles,
Jamal
and
Charles, dude, and then I mean like it's just weird. I don't
and
understand it.
Eli Manning with the Giants with who was the big fuck Benjamin or Brandon Jacobs.
Right.
Remember him?
Yeah,
He
Brandon
just looked like he
Jacobs.
could lift a truck,
Yeah.
and it was just like
Well, and it's
it just seemed
and
like every
players
team
all
had its
across
own
the field,
identity.
especially on the defensive end, like
Oh yeah, yeah,
Darrell
yeah.
Revis, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis. I mean, look at these fucking guys. Brian Urlacher. It was just I just feel like it was just
Yeah.
a different. Like these guys are dudes
And
that
they
would eat
speak.
with their fucking hands or something. Like they're just.
Yeah.
It was just a different. I
Well,
don't
and
know.
they would like. It felt like they would always stay on one team, you know.
There was a lot of
And
dynasty
guys
guys.
weren't holding out.
No,
Guys were staying with one team. It's like Urlacher. You couldn't have got him off the Bears. Like
no.
Ed Reed. He wasn't leaving the Ravens.
And then
And
what didn't? Oh,
stuff later
Charles
in their
Woodson.
careers
Charles
maybe, but
Woodson. Didn't Charles Woodson say?
Charles
I
Woodson.
think he changed one to
He
the.
might
I
have
think he went to the
changed
Raiders. I think at one
before our
point,
time.
but
Before our time.
either way, I just it was just a different world. It seemed back then. Like,
Yeah.
and people are saying now. I do agree with the fact that athletics in general now. I feel like most athletics are way more competitive now because they're starting them so young. But for some reason in football, I actually against all the other ones I would agree with because it is getting more competitive. But in football, for some reason, I feel like they're not passing the old people that came before them at all.
I
There's
I
select
honestly
guys that are, but I just feel like as a whole, it's not as dominant as it was.
I feel like basketball too isn't the same.
No,
I
not at
feel
all.
like I feel like
Less people are
nobody
watching
quite.
ever than before now too.
Well, yeah, for sure
Or
that.
yeah, the
But like,
viewership's way down.
if you look at LeBron, he's putting up better stats than he
It's
did with
insane what
Miami.
he's doing. By the way, it's
Than he did
insane.
with, than he did, but they're terrible. They can't win a game. They're
Yeah,
like they're like 3 and 8 in their last 11 games or
yeah.
something.
It's
But like Miami, he's putting up worse stats, and they're smoking teams. They win 27 straight games. So it's like somehow the game has become less competitive to me over time. And the fact that less could get way more done back then, and now it just feels like everyone's eating. And
That's what it's
I don't
about.
know. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it. But the fact that the Lakers are so terrible with LeBron putting up ungodly numbers
At his
and
fucking
Anthony Davis
age.
putting up and Anthony Davis putting up ungodly numbers, it's crazy to me because I'm like, there were times when Wade and Bosh weren't doing much, and LeBron's putting up 27 and 8 and 7, and they're smoking teams. And
Yeah.
it's not like the role players were that much better in the league at that point, outside of Wade and Bosh. But I'm like, they were putting kind of scrubs around them outside of that, filling
Yeah,
in
a
with
little bit.
the Norris Coles and the Chalmers. Like they did their job. But
Chalmers, Mario Chalmers,
but
yeah.
you'd look at the Lakers roster now and be like, Austin Reeves is way better, than that, and these guys they bring off the bench and D'Angelo Russells of the world and stuff, and you'd be like, the Lakers are way better, way more talented than the Heat. So why can't they win a game?
It's
I
baffling to me. It's baffling to me.
it's something weird. I feel
It's weird sports intangibles. It almost feels like, or something. It's just
right.
it's
I feel like maybe it's as simple as like the defense was a lot better back then, so LeBron was having way more of an impact on the defensive end. But then again, like Anthony Davis is probably the best defensive player in the league, so the Lakers have fine defense. just think it's an overall gameplay thing, that just
yeah.
somehow
It's a bunch of little things that add up to
less.
a
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like everyone's playing the game like almost like the fundamentals are kind of out. No one's really running an offense, so it's just rat ball, and whoever comes out with more
Yeah,
points
it's like
wins.
playing at the fucking. It's
Versus
like
like
playing
an
at
actual
Superior or
basketball
something.
game.
It's
Yeah, but it's weird to me because yeah. Anyway, enough hoops. Um, but your Christmas was good. Your parents were up there, or did they leave?
Oh yeah, they were up here. Yeah, they left the day after Christmas, and for Christmas we went to Jack's uncle's house. My parents went, and my oldest brother Vince was here with his wife and kid. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Was Jack there? I thought he went to Medford.
Nope, no, he was up here.
Oh, he was there.
No,
Okay.
he was up here.
Well, good. Where do your parents stay when they come up?
They actually got an Airbnb like in the neighborhood over.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice. You missed a fun time out here in Nashville. Garrett and Cooper were out here.
I saw that.
So
Wait, did they stay for Christmas?
no, they were here just for New Year's.
Oh, okay.
Cooper was here. Cooper was here with his parents for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
His parents live in the city close to us, so
No shit. That sounds fun.
it was a good time.
Well, fuck. Maybe we should plan a little group trip. You know what I'm saying?
Who's the group?
Well, for one, I was gonna say Jack's birthday is in June, and we're gonna go somewhere. Not sure where, but it would just be the group that went to Barber, basically. So,
Oh, I see.
so if you want to run it back,
yeah, that will be fun.
yeah, I don't know what we're doing for it yet, but
Well, keep Nashville in mind.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
good
was gonna
people
say either way, I was gonna say before Jack's birthday, I wanted to plan a trip out to Nashville and come pay my respects to young Tristo.
Always welcome.
How's that sound?
Always welcome. Oh, it sounds good.
I was thinking May.
we just
I was
gotta-
thinking May or April or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll make whatever work. You're definitely free. Place for you to crash. The whole 9 yards.
As long as that
More than
modem's
welcome.
plugged in, baby, make sure.
Huh?
As long as that router and modem's plugged in, make sure that we don't want no discrepancies.
It's plugged in. Garrett was playing Fortnite on my Xbox when he was out here. If you can believe it.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my
Um,
goodness.
Also, on that note, have you seen what Fortnite looks like these days?
Yeah, they have Lego Fortnite,
crazy.
too.
Oh, I tried Lego Fortnite. Didn't last long. It was pretty
I
stupid.
haven't touched that game in forever. I've been back on the COD grind.
Really?
Yep. I'm back.
You think it's good, this new game?
I enjoy it. And here's the thing, I hated Warzone for years. This one I play. And I've been waiting for ranked because ranked play comes out like this month at like the 17th or something. But I've just playing Warzone and fucking multiplayer. That's about it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Z's back, baby.
Wasn't Warzone like the same? I mean, how much has that really
Well, the thing
changed
is, there's
over?
Warzone and then there's Resurgence, and Resurgence is basically you can spawn back in a certain period of time. Yeah, like in the beginning half of the game, as long as your whole team doesn't die, in the 30 seconds after you die, you can like fly back and still win.
Okay. Well, yeah, PUBG's implemented that a little bit. We've got
you're,
we've got
st-
gulags.
you're still on
What?
that fucking game, dude.
I promise you, if you gave it another chance, you
I
would
don't
agree
think
it's the
so,
best
dude.
battle royale.
I do
And
think it was
dude,
fun. I do think,
clean.
and the whole part of the begin. I mean, the fact that it is a little bit clunky when it comes to close range fights and like a guy's running across and you're like fucking shooting everywhere. I do like that aspect of it because it makes it fucking fun. But I just, I had my kick on it and I had a great time and I moved on.
Well, it's time to move back because it is a great game.
You still play it a lot, huh?
Yeah, because it's clean now, bro. It looks like Unreal Engine 5 or whatever. I mean, it runs
Okay.
so smooth. It looks like Fortnite. Not like that, not like the actual gameplay, like the goofy. You won't find Peter Griffin running around the battlefield, I'll tell you that. But
you won't see Naruto in the sky fucking zapping you with clouds and shit.
no, yeah, but it's legit. Yeah, we got a great time on it.
Dude, do you see that painting behind me?
Yeah, why does it look like you're in the nude?
I am.
Animated?
Yeah, I don't know why my cock's out, but it's out.
Why? Why
That's
is
a
it up on display?
That's a great question. Well, Jack wanted to put it in the living room. I'm like, absolutely not.
Oh my God! Wait, why? Why were you outside naked?
No, we had one of our friends, like that picture. I forgot. It's like a very famous painting of them touching hands like this in the clouds. It's a very famous painting. But Jack had one of our friends who's an artist redo it, but for whatever reason had him. He's like, I make it funny. He just drew me with my cock out. So that's. And then Jack's like the one in the clouds, and then of course I'm the one sitting there with my wiener out and shit. I don't fucking know. Fucking weird. Whoa.
Oh, I've been sick for like a week and a half.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
What are your symptoms?
What I sound? Oh, everything.
Everything.
Anything you want to name?
Oh. Wait, did you go to the doctors?
No, I've never felt bad. Like first day,
you just know
literally,
you're fucked
the
up.
night Garrett was flying in, all of a sudden I felt just when you feel that just slight throat scratch.
Yeah.
In like middle of the day, and you're like,
Oh
shit,
fuck.
please
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden my body, I get back from the gym and my muscles, I started aching, like my back and neck and stuff, and I was like, it's so weird. The only time that's happened to me is when I had COVID a year ago. But probably should have tested. I didn't. So it could have been COVID. I don't know. I had
You have a
Garrett
fever?
flying in, and I was like, no, I never had a fever, and I never felt bad after that. The next day,
Yeah.
aches were gone. I felt no problem except just like the congestion started, and then the cough eventually.
Well, did Garrett get
But
sick?
It's been like 8 days. No, he never got sick. It's been like 8 days now, and I'm like, all right, time for this to end.
You're still feeling a little ill?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You working from home? Oh, you working from home, so. No?
So, no, I am.
Oh.
Or does that mean I can't get sick?
No, I said because you're working from home, though. It's not like you have to worry about getting coworkers sick or something.
Oh, no. Yeah, but I just feel like ass. Well, I mean, not feel like ass, but just the congestion and coughing. I gotta lead a client presentation in the morning, and I sound like this, but I don't want to, sound like a bitch and like, so can someone else lead the
Yeah,
presentation?
you
I
will
don't
look like a
sound
bitch.
great.
You will look like a
Yeah.
bitch.
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
So, thanks.
What? You would.
Jeez.
You would. What were you telling? Were you looking for me to tell you you shouldn't do it because you don't feel good?
I'm just looking for some friendship. I'm looking for some friendship.
No, you said I'd sound like a bitch, and I'd be like, yeah, you would. Because if
Yeah.
it's an online thing, and you're like, you know what? Can someone else head this? I don't feel right.
Well, I just don't want to be mid-sentence and then all of a sudden start hacking, But
Oh, it's part of
but
the show.
hey,
Part of the showmanship.
all that to say, I'm being a man and I'm doing it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
So,
point. That's the point.
if I hork on camera, it's on them.
Yeah, and you add it. It's part of the showmanship.
Yeah.
It's not
You've got to
perfect.
take that painting down. I can't stop looking at your little wiener back there.
I
now.
didn't draw
Please
it.
take it down.
I'm not taking it down.
And we don't want freaking pornographic images on the webcast. Probably get another.
It's art. It's art. It's art.
Nothing with you in the nude is art. I'm sorry, Michelangelo. It ain't gonna happen.
I didn't want it, Jack. I don't know, but that's what it is. And part of being an adult, accepting things you wish weren't true.
At some point you've got to wear the pants. Not Alex, not Jack, Z. You've got to wear the pants.
Well, I didn't even know it was happening. Look at this. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it needs to be ripped down.
Well, it's in the office. It's in a private space, so that's fine. And it's right below. It's right below Middle Earth.
Middle Earth.
That's the Middle Earth map above it.
Oh. You know what? It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. I'm about ready to do my annual Lord of the Rings marathon. Not marathon.
It's been as of what is it?
A
little over a week ago. It's been 20 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's been 20 years.
For me, it's Two Towers. I like Fellowship. I like Return of the Kings. Two Towers.
Two Towers takes the cake.
Movie.
It takes the cake.
I can't even. In terms of sequels, you want to talk best movie sequels ever.
Yeah, Two Towers.
You put Two Towers on a short list. Empire Strikes Back, another one.
Yeah, that's up there.
I mean, there's some sequels that just.
I mean, I thought The Last Hobbit was unbelievable as well, but I don't think it holds a candle to
I
Two
still don't
Towers.
like them, but I need to rewatch them because
I think so.
Seen them the time.
No, here's the thing: what you need to do too.
You
need to watch the extended editions. I'm telling you.
They're already long.
I know. I'm telling you right now, the extended edition of the Last Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies, actually is.
The whole movie was a battle. It literally from start
And there's
to finish
more.
was a battle.
And there's more.
Need to see it.
I'm just saying. I think it. Okay, Lord of the Rings included. Because there's so much extra things that you watch these extra cut, and you instantly notice them because if you've seen the movies as many times as we have, you notice when there's some. Oh wait, did they add that in there? Like even in the Hobbits, the extended edition. I think it's the second one. I don't remember. I think it's the second one. And they added this whole scene with Thorin's father when Gandalf finds him. It's just crazy. They add this whole thing when he finds him. And it's nuts. I'm like, how the fuck is that not in the fucking theatrical version? But they have so much footage, they can't add it all. But I would highly recommend watching the extended versions of not the Lord of the Rings first, but not to mention in Return of the King, the extended version, it's called the Mouth of Sauron, that little thing that runs out on the horse. Dude, it's like right before that last battle outside Mordor. That thing with the big.
Yeah,
I'm saying that they have all this shit in there. I'm just saying there's a lot of extra little good. There's a lot of extra good things that you're like, wow, I wish that was in the original version I saw.
You never read the books, did you?
I read the first one and that was it.
Was it boring or was it?
It was good. It was good, but
because I was reading, and this is just what's the spectacular feat of Lord of the Rings is that it was nearly impossible to make, and somehow they made it. Because a lot of people were like, these books are boring. They're never going to translate to the screen. They're never going to be entertaining. And boom, look what happened.
Yeah.
They go into New Zealand for 18 months straight and film in all three. Would never happen today.
Never. Yeah, they would never do that.
It is like, I heard someone say it, like, literally, it was the perfect... It was like striking, lightning striking.
Lightning in a bottle?
Yeah. Or lightning in a bottle. That's what lightning bottle.
Lightning striking in a bottle, yeah.
And because they're like 5 years earlier, every studio would have refused, to take it on. 5 years later, it would have been all CGI, which like we saw in The Hobbit. So it's like,
and it's okay, but it's not close.
Perfect. Right. Oh, it does. It gets me fired up.
No, it does because I do.
Like peak cinema.
Because, dude, there was literally thousands of people dressed up and running around for like all these battle scenes and stuff, and it's And the CGI, yeah, okay, it's easier. You don't have to do this and this and that and the third. You can obviously tell. I just think that the Lord of the Rings is perfect because that all these scenes are fucking dudes that are dressed up in makeup and prosthetics for 6 hours, and it's just there's so much that go into the film, and I also watched this thing. It was George Lucas, but obviously not the same thing. But he was talking about how now that once upon a time the directors, the executives of the film itself, and the people who funded it had a lot more say, and you could tell the studios to fuck off a lot more and do a little bit more of this. But now it's completely controlled by the board, by the big dogs, and like they can tell them, no, we don't want this. This is stupid. You're not doing that. And apparently, because once upon a time, directors and all these people had way more power than they do now. Like, and obviously they took that away because of the fact that it became a problem of, okay, well, there's money problems here, but the guy doesn't want to fucking listen. But either way, that it completely changed how they film a lot of shit. Not to mention, speaking of Star Wars, they just handed their $67 billion franchise over to this random chick who, do you see that?
Oh, Kathleen?
I don't know
I
who the
saw
fuck it
something,
is.
I didn't read it though.
It's some
Well, Kathleen Kennedy
it's some
runs
chick
Lucasfilm.
it's some chick in Pakistan or something. It's a Pakistani chick, I don't know. And they just handed over this fucking franchise to her. Not because I think she sucks. I don't know who the fuck she is. I'm just saying, how are you gonna hand over the whole franchise to somebody?
Well, I think it was, we're probably talking about the same thing, but what I saw was something about, it's time a female, like
Yeah,
the
that's it.
female
Yeah, that's it.
ran the franchise.
It
or
has
something.
nothing to do. It has nothing to do with being a woman. I'm just saying.
They're bringing Rey back, Daisy Ridley as Rey, which I always said was a good thing. I've been telling people for
I
years,
liked her.
like,
I loved her.
That's what Lucasfilm should do, is bring her back. She's been the only good Star Wars character. And Star Wars has just been terrible.
Yeah,
And so I was like, yeah,
awful.
bring her back. Like, there's no reason she didn't die, and she's young. It's like, bring her back. And then, sure enough, they did. And they're talking about her movie, and I'm like, she already led the last 3 movies. Why are you saying now like she wasn't the lead?
I know.
She was the lead in Force Awakens.
100%.
She was the lead of the whole trilogy. And
dude, Star Wars is quickly.
I just wish they would shut their mouths, because now there's so many people that are writing this movie off because, oh God, supposedly, because men are supposed to be uncomfortable watching it and stuff like that. And it's like, if you would have just shut your mouth, like, people want to see Daisy Ridley.
Yeah, they 100% do. I do.
Open your traps and piss people off, and I'm just like, now I'm upset because the movie will probably bomb now.
Probably. I mean, I also think that they kind of shot themselves in the foot, because Star Wars and Marvel are pretty much head and head of dog shit of all the stuff that they've released, and oversaturated with all this bullshit. That 90%, like with the exception of Loki, I really liked Loki. In recent years, I'm saying of Marvel things that they've came out with the exception of 1 or 2 things on both sides, they all fucking suck. They're all ass. They're all not good, and I don't understand it. And it's just oversaturation of shit.
Yeah, and it happened quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
If you were to go see, like, I think someone released, they go 4 years today, the Super Bowl spot of Endgame.
Dude.
That, like, little teaser trailer where it's panning over the city after, after half the world vanished or whatever, and they're showing, like, Citi Field for the Mets, and it's just, like, empty, and it's all dark, and Thanos is going, I won, and it's just, it is so dark, and someone responds and was like, I truly think cinema peaked in this moment.
It did, 100%.
Because Marvel was the shit at that time.
Absolute top of the food chain.
3 plus billion.
And they were, after, in my opinion, when Infinity War came out, they already fucking were. I mean, and I think Infinity War took the cake for, in my opinion, in theater, was one of the best movies I have ever seen in a theater, ever. Oh, yeah. Ever.
And Endgame was good, but
Endgame was good. And Infinity War was way better. Infinity War was way better.
But Endgame did its job.
Absolutely.
It tied it up.
The ending of Endgame, everyone's cheering and freaking the fuck out. Oh, and then you got Tony Stark dying. It was insane.
I thought opening night, and so I was still working at Tinseltown when Infinity War dropped, so I screened it before the wide public.
You screened it? Like you're fucking Martin Scorsese.
I know. Oh, I was back
then. I
then.
Screened it.
And so it's just me in the theater, and I truly, after Infinity War, was like mind blown.
Yeah, it was that good.
The next game when Endgame came out, I was at George Fox, and so I wasn't working at the theater anymore, so I had to buy a ticket like all the other schmucks and go see it opening night. And when Captain America picks up Thor's hammer
Oh, everyone
in the
freaked
fight
the
with
fuck
Thanos.
out.
People in I wasn't the one that, that video that went viral of the theater. That was not mine, obviously, but mine was just like that, if not crazier.
Yeah.
People were screaming. I was like, I was like trying to yell at people to shut down, or to shut up, because
Shut down.
it just went on. It just went on for so long,
Yeah.
And I was trying to just hear every single thing, going on, and I was just like, all right, time to stop. But people lost their marbles when that moment happened in theaters. And I'm just like, and now I feel like Marvel's a laughing stock.
100% it is. They put out because that's what they did. They got all this fucking money from all this success. They're here and they oversaturate with dog shit. And then it's just now it's a laughing stock and everything they come out with. Because if you remember, right after all that, when there was rumor of a show coming out, but before all the shows that they've came out with, which is fucking now in the dozens almost, it seems like.
Yeah.
And before every single thing they marketed was skyrocket because everyone's coming off the high of, well, look at the fuck they just did, and then just just dog shit.
Yeah.
Same thing with Star Wars. Same thing with Star Wars. It's yeah.
I mean, the first Captain Marvel released, I think, right before Endgame, with Brie Larson.
Yeah.
And it made $1 billion.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I mean, it was top of the box.
But it still wasn't. It wasn't that great. But it came
sequel,
with that money.
The Marvel sequel, absolutely bombed.
Yeah.
I mean, that came out like a month or two ago.
I'm saying that all the numbers off that first one were just
back.
because the high from Endgame. That was all it was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's. I feel like Marvel's only saving grace
to bring Robert RDJ back.
You can't do it. They can't do it. That would even make it more.
I think that's their only. I think that's their only.
Bring it back.
That's what they're in talks. That's what they're in talks of doing. Rumor has it.
So.
Rumor has it.
And Chris Evans has said he's not coming back. So those are the only two you could have. The only thing that can save it is another legit Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland. And
I don't think he's doing. He's taking a break. He's taking a break. I don't think he's even doing
a little break. But I think they're gonna. They usually release them every 2 years. So we should have got. Isn't that crazy? We should have got a Spider-Man sequel this year.
Yeah.
In theaters.
Yeah.
And we didn't. So I think they're gonna start filming. I think Zendaya's on board, and Tom. I think they'll do another one for sure. And if they make that one legit, it'll do a lot of money. I think there's enough Spider-Man people that like him.
Yeah, I agree.
I think maybe another Thor movie would probably do well with Hemsworth coming back. I think enough people like him. But the last one sucked. Again,
yeah,
quality was bad. But yeah, then
what I've been wondering, speaking of saving franchises, is there's been a lot of interesting things that have happened. Switching gears here, seeing Hayden Christensen, even though it was in some of these scenes, it was just cutscenes, and I really think, and this is not a joke, I think the stars maybe could just align right. I mean, I don't know if you saw this, but Natalie Portman was in an interview and was asked about recently seeing Hayden Christensen in the films, and she's like, and they were talking, she's like, oh, Hayden, would you ever? And like, just as a random question, she's like, I would. No one's actually asked me. I really think, I don't know how the story could really work, and I don't know if they could add much more than maybe like flashbacks. I'm not sure, but.
Well, so I have an idea, and I may have talked.
Let's get you in the writer's room.
I should be.
Yeah.
And because Hayden Christensen's definitely making a comeback. Do you see he signed with a new agency and everything?
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to get back into Hollywood.
And I think he
was blacklisted.
Blacklisted, 100%.
And
he's like Brendan Fraser right now, dude. He's like Brendan Fraser. He's coming back.
Yeah, exactly. And he obviously was very well received in Clone Wars, or in whatever their show was, Ahsoka. But again, the Star Wars is just, it still feels
juvenile to me.
Juvenile, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like JV.
Yeah.
That there's not real content coming out.
It's amateur almost in comparison to,
and again, it's probably a show, so again, it'd have to be Disney Plus, and so then does it still feel JV? But I think a great idea, because I did see that about Natalie Portman, and what would be interesting is there's not a whole lot to work with, obviously, because of her death.
Yeah.
they're old, and obviously they pulled it off with Hayden. They'd have to pull it off with her too, but you'd have to get the de-aging right and everything to make it look real. But I always think a Star Wars What If series would be amazing if any sorts of things. He doesn't turn to the dark side.
Yeah, they
He
would never do
survives.
that, but
Why not?
because it changes the narrative of all the story. I just feel like now you're thinking that
No,
way, and
it's
now
completely separate. It's not canon or whatever, but just a totally different show on almost like a multiverse type of thing.
yeah,
But like,
yeah,
or
yeah.
what if Anakin never turned to the dark side, or what if uh he turned Chancellor Palpatine in, or what if Padme survived. There's all these like Star Wars what
Yeah.
ifs that I feel like would be fun to play out in a show or even a movie or something, and just
Yeah, it would.
Anakin's training Luke, as his father, in the Jedi Temple or whatever, and or gets banished from the Jedi Order because they find out Padme's having the kids,
Yeah, that'd be good. But
and then Anakin has to become like a gray Jedi or a rogue Jedi, and I think that would be a cool outside of the linear
yeah,
plot.
I think
think
that's
that would be
it for an
cool.
actual amount of footage and film. They would have to do something like that because there's really nothing you can do with the story other than you can add a
There isn't.
flashback scene. And be like, oh, back at this that wasn't really explained in the past films between these two, or oh, here's this on Naboo that we never added from, or it could be some extra shit like that. But I don't think there's any realistic full movie out of what they have. But
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah,
It would all be flashback scenes, kind of like what he was in Ahsoka, kind of thing. It would be something like that.
right, right.
So
Which is fine. I mean, but it's it's just a shame, that for
yeah,
Star Wars fans, it feels like he never really truly got
flowers.
him and Flowers and Natalie Portman
Yeah, I
as well,
agree. I mean,
because
I
she's aging beautifully, and
oh,
she can pull off
absolutely.
anything. Um, so yeah, we'll see. But I mean, yeah, Disney's gonna have some tough Lucasfilm, Disney, Marvel. They're gonna have some coming to Jesus talks because it just feels like the one thing Disney has going for it is Avatar, which I loved the second one.
Yeah, me too. I did like it.
So that's like that was like a Lord of the Rings Two Towers moment for me, where I'm just like I'm blown away at what's been put in front of me in
Yeah,
just terms of
I
quality of
agree.
the scenery, the
And I
acting,
actually loved what they
story.
did with the storyline in the second
Yeah,
one, bringing that guy back, but in like kind of what they did with Sully and how his consciousness was I liked that they added that guy back. It was actually pretty genius, and I didn't expect it. I'm like, well, I wonder who's gonna be that guy now because he dies. And the funniest part was seeing Carmela Soprano fucking walking up in the military outfits.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, that was hilarious.
Well, and it's just it was a cool story that I had no idea, but it was cool that in the first one they're more forest, and then the second one's all water
Yeah,
and
I
people,
like
and they're
that.
learning almost like you're learning a whole new like culture, religion type of thing, and like way of life, way of water, and that the next one supposedly Avatar 3. What?
Nothing. Just keep going.
That the third one,
Uh,
Avatar 3, is supposed to be, like the fire people or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
that they're so
And I think it's gonna
it's
be
gonna be
great.
cool that it's cool that like each are gonna have their own like identity and
Yeah,
style, and I
and
think that's
James Cameron wasn't he was making a third only based upon how the second one did. That's what I read at least.
no, no, they've already filmed most of 3. They filmed them back to back,
Oh
2 and 3.
really?
So
I
they
thought
already
he was
filmed
only
like
gonna do another one after.
no,
Oh,
you no, you didn't listen.
you
He
didn't listen.
said
You
he
didn't read the
said
articles I read.
he said, "Are you ready to be educated?" He said,
You're not
"If
educated. You just read it.
no, he said if that's how do you think you educate yourself?"
No, no.
And well, I sure as shit wasn't a fly on the wall. And so listen, let me talk.
I'm
He
waiting.
said that if oh you
Oh my God! Will you fucking say it?
he said that if 2 wasn't well received, he had plans to wrap the third one as a trilogy. That's what he
Oh,
said because they've already eaten that cost.
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
For most of the third one. So, and then once he saw two's numbers just at the
Yeah.
box office, he was like, "Oh shit, I guess I got to make all 5 or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
all 7 or whatever he said."
yeah,
It was kind of badass. He's like, I mean, yeah, I mean that guy Nolan,
yeah. Him and Nolan, and I mean, what's
Cameron, it feels like they're just tiers above everyone else that they can pull off such different styles of movies.
yeah, I agree.
And I mean, like I watched Titanic on a plane a couple months back, and I'm just blown away at how it aged. I mean, that's a movie from the '90s, and it feels like it could be a top release today. Um, and obviously Avatar, and going from Titanic to Avatar, it's just crazy to me.
Yeah, the range.
And Terminator, obviously, just I mean that guy's freaking ridiculous. And I feel the same about Nolan. I'm sitting in Oppenheimer just blown away, and it's just this historical drama, and it's the same fool who I watched, Batman Begins and Dark Knight, and Interstellar, one of my favorite movies
Interstellar is
ever.
one of my favorite movies ever.
know,
He did.
just-
I'm saying it's the range of these guys. It's kind of like
Yeah, they
it's kind of like an actor who's fucking hilarious, but then can also go into here and be a very good dramatic actor, but also go into be a main character in an action film. So like like when you have like, I'm not saying Martin Scorsese or Quentin Tarantino aren't amazing at what they do, but they have a certain style and they have a certain thing that they fucking like to stick to, and
Well, it's like picture a music artist, whoever's top of the rap game, just going, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna transition to a country star, and puts out the best country album in the past decade. It just and it feels totally authentic and everything. Like no one has to stick in a genre. It's just that's what's crazy. That's why, and Nolan was flirting with the idea of doing a James Bond movie, and I'm just like, bring it on, like please. I mean, it'd probably be great. He'd probably have Tom Hardy be James Bond or someone.
I love Tom Hardy, by the way.
Who's been his actor for a while. The biggest mistake in Nolan's career was Harry Styles, but thankfully he didn't talk in Dunkirk.
Yeah, he didn't have any lines, did he? He had like maybe a couple, maybe.
Maybe a couple.
I don't know. I watched
No.
Dunkirk, but I think I fell asleep fucking halfway through.
It was kind of boring. It was a good movie, but like I loved Oppenheimer a lot more than Dunkirk.
Well, Dunkirk, I think I fell asleep when they were fucking sinking on the ship or whatever, and they were. I think that's when I fucking fell asleep.
Yeah. And Tenet was bad. So like Nolan's had a couple misses. Like I didn't like Tenet at all.
I didn't actually watch that.
Yeah, well, you didn't need to. And so, well, are we about time?
Yeah, we're about an hour. We're an hour, and I know.
All right. Well, I should probably hit the sack. I know you gotta.
Yeah, I gotta go pack. I gotta go pack. Yeah.
How are you getting to the airport?
Alex is driving me. She doesn't work tomorrow.
What'd she do for Christmas? She stay put, or is she?
She went to her family's place because they're really family. They have a family Christmas party and stuff, and so
Like most families, you mean? Like a
no,
family Christmas party?
I'm saying they had like a Home Alone theme. They all dressed up as shit.
Oh, jeez.
There was like there was all a shit ton of family there, and they all dressed up and shit. So they had
Where
that.
at? Oh, her
and
family lives up there, right?
Yeah. And so, but my family's up here. She was gonna go over there, and obviously, our parents haven't met. I didn't want my parents. Well, first of all, what happened on Christmas Eve?
Your parents haven't met.
No, they were gonna meet when they came up here, but then my aunt, just a terrible
Right.
timing, and then I'm like, well, first of all, after that happened, I'm like, I don't want my parents to meet them for the first time when their family's over already, and I don't want to put pressure, and so my parents are just not in the mood, obviously, so
Right.
yeah. So
Oh. All right. How long does it take you to get to the airport?
well, I'm going in the morning. I'm just gonna go by her parents house basically, and her parents' house.
Oh, that's where she is.
Yeah, her
That's where
parents
she
live
is.
like 30 minutes from the airport.
Oh,
25, 30 minutes.
But if you were just going straight from your house to the airport,
Yeah,
how long
probably
would
like,
it take you?
depending on traffic, I mean, I'd say like 45, 50 minutes probably.
Oh, okay.
So-
Do you ever Uber, or is it way expensive?
I've,
trying to do
I
that
mean,
Uber?
I will Uber if I have to, but I would prefer not to. I mean, even if it's a little spendy, I much rather would Uber than try to make someone else bend over backwards to come get me and take me to the fucking airport and back or something. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, so
Okay. All right. Well, have a safe flight.
we'll reconvene,
Next
and also we gotta
next
probably
Wednesday.
we gotta yeah, and we'll plan out a little trip. I was gonna say something for Jax would be fun if you could reunite, and then but also I was gonna say a bro trip before that. I wanted to plan out before summer, maybe spring.
Yeah.
Maybe spring.
Yeah. Count
So
me in.
keep an eye out for that. Let's weather the storm and see what we have.
All right. Sounds good, man.
All right, bro.
Clips. Bring your computer.